Guys, what's up? It's been a while since I've been doing this. I apologize. Now, I know you guys have left me very positive feedbacks in regards to this walkthrough series. Why haven't I been doing this for the past few months? Very simple, because January usually is like battery recharge for me. And then February, we have, of course, Chinese New Year. Now, the March period, we have all those new launches, so we did quite a fair bit of long-form contents on these new launches. Now, of course, it was also school holidays. I took a short break, and then we have Hari Raya, so on and so forth. So while in the midst of this Tengah, Vela Bay, crazy launch weekend, so I just finished one of the appointments around this neighborhood. So I thought, hey, might as well just show you guys around this area that I've been plying my trade for the past 16 years, aside from Tanjung Ru, because people looking for Tanjung Ru, if they don't want, they always come to this neighborhood. And I'll share with you why this address is one of the most prestigious in the entire East Coast area. Okay, let's go.
You gotta shake it, mister. Ain't nobody stopping ya. Take it easy.
Okay guys, so I'll be starting the walk at the start of Meyer Road. Now, some people say that this is like the end of Meyer Road. To me, this is the start now. So, as you can see, it's very hot again. Each time I film a walkthrough with me series, it's always damn hot. Weather forecast says that it's meant to be like thundery showers, but fortunately it's not. But unfortunately, it's super freaking hot. So, of course, at the start of the Meyer Road itself is Katong Park, where the MRT currently sits. Last time it was a big green patch, right? So then, of course, owners who moved in here before 2013, 2014, 2015, before the TEL announcement, they have been through a lot. It was like close to 7-8 years of massive construction, plenty of dust, plenty of noise. But right now, as I mentioned, you have the MRT right at the doorstep and a very nice revamped park. So I'm making my way towards this stretch of road that goes all the way to the end of Meyer Road itself. As you can see, I just started filming like a couple of minutes already, I'm sweating like hell. So I guess today's video you're going to see more of the properties around here and lesser of me lah. Otherwise you won't see a sweaty guy around, right? Alright, so the first property at the start of Meyer Road is Belvedere. This is already like close to about 19 years old. Now, all the properties along the Meyer Roads are all freehold, just FYI. And properties in Belvedere range from between 2 to 3 bedrooms. Now, if you're someone looking for a 4-bedroom, there's absolutely no units here except the penthouse. The normal unit is like 1,000 square feet to as huge as 1,378 square feet maximum. Okay, and the higher floors here has very nice city facing, but they are all orientating towards the south or rather southwest-west direction. So, of course, units here can get a little bit hot. And as I mentioned, they have suffered the construction for the longest time because the MRT is right doorstep. But of course, they get the benefit from this convenience right now. No. Again, I'm not going to cover properties on the left-hand side because the left-hand side is where Margate Road is, Aalto Road is, and Meyer Place, right? But of course, this one is the old Equatorial Apartments. Okay, I'll find some shit, okay, as I make my way towards the second property along Meyer Road itself. Okay, second property along Meyer Road itself is Seafront on Meyer. Now, I think this is like probably the top 3 condos in my honest opinion along this stretch. Reason very simple, because it has a very sizable plot of land. The unit types are all also very spacious. 2-bedroom here is like 1,000 odd square feet, 3-bedrooms like 1,600 square feet, 4-bedrooms are 2,000 odd square feet. Very, very comfortable. And most of the units are all rather unblocked. You have the front facing the sea. If you're a certain level, on the northern side, you're overlooking the landed properties. So all in all, I won't exactly say the best, but top 3 for sure. Second or third, somewhere around there. But Seafront is developed by Capital Land, and of course Capital Land is known for building you very sizable properties lah. Hence, Seafront to me is one of those properties that a lot of people are constantly looking out for lah, and the supply here is pretty much quite limited also. Condo number 3 is Atria on Meyer. The top 2 on my list of the properties that likely will go en bloc along Meyer Road in the next like 5 to 10 years lah. I think recently they tried before, but they didn't get the 80%. But this alongside Hawaii Towers, which is what I'm going to cover next, is the 2 developments that I believe will unblock in the next X amount of years now. Now, as for unit type here, it ranges between like 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, all the way to 4 bedrooms, 1,600 square feet. And for those of you looking for a 3-bedroom with 3 bathrooms, if you have such a criteria, I think the entire East Coast only this development gives you that, because most unit types are usually like 3-bed, 2-bath. Atria, the 1,600 square feet, gives you exactly that. 3-bed, 3-bath. Right? So on the higher floor facing the southern side, you get unblocked sea facing. On the northern side, you get unblocked landed facing. Now, why do people like Atria so much? Because, like I said, if you like it, you like it, don't like it, don't like it. The units here don't have balcony. So if you're someone who wants very efficient space, everything that's pretty much usable, Atria gives you that. And then because the plot of land is not super big, but it's very comfortable for a development of this density. So whatever you need a condo, you have it here. So it's a very sizable plot of land that has quite a fair bit of exclusivity and privacy because there's like not too many people. But eventually, because this is about 1990s really, to me eventually this will go en bloc. It's a matter of whether the owners can agree on the 80% or not. Now condo number 4 here is Hawaii Towers. To me, this likely will be the next one to go en bloc. Either this or Atria. Now, according to credible sources, they tried en bloc recently, but unfortunately failed by a couple percentage. But tough luck lah. But this plot of land is very unique. Now, let me share with you why. Because most Meyer Road properties, the land plots are elongated, except Hawaii Towers, it's more like a landscape, wide frontage. You can imagine the land plot is big, you have this wide frontage. If they built 2 buildings at the back overlooking the sea facing, it's going to be an amazing plot of land, a development for developers to work on. So this is likely going to be a next development that will unblock in the next 10 years alongside Atria. And if I have to put my money, I think Hawaii Towers will go first because they are really very close to the 80%. So if let's say, recently they talk about reducing the threshold for owners to agree so that the en bloc can go through from 80% to 70%, then naturally all these will hit. So all the sizes here at Hawaii Towers are like 2,239 square feet and above. There's nothing below 2,200. All the units here are all 3-bedroom. There's no 4-bedroom, there's no 2-bedroom. So it's very easy to understand. So for some of you looking for 4-bedroom, unfortunately Hawaii Towers don't have them. If you're looking for a small bedroom type, Hawaii Towers do not have them. They only have one size, 2,239 square feet, or the penthouse units. Imagine 2,239 square feet, of course, everything very big, right? 3 bedrooms in the 2,239 square feet, you know how much space. But funny thing is, the layouts are not very efficient either. You can't really create one more bedroom, so everything's big, but not big to the extent where you can do something a little bit different. But yep, next one to go en bloc. But a unit here will range in today's market $4 to $4.5 million. Now, if you guys can hear clearly, there is some aeroplane noise every few minutes because this area here is the flight path. It cuts across after Tanjung Ru, which is the start of the Meyer Road, the Katong Park area. That's why the plot ratio on the Tanjung Ru side there is a bit lower, like Waterside and certain properties along the Meyer Road area, mainly Meyer Place, Aalto 118 and Margate. As I mentioned, lower plot ratio because it's the flight path. But of course that will change. And let's see whether it will affect the plot ratios in around that neighborhood or not. Right, so this is condo number 5, which is Meyer Mansion, the newest boy on the block after Meyer Blue, which is on the left-hand side, which is condo number 6. Meyer Mansion sits on the old Casa Mayfort site. So for those of you guys who haven't been into the Meyer Road for the longest time, Casa Mayfort is gone. Meyer Mansion is the one that made way for Casa Mayfort. Of course, Meyer Mansion has a wide variety of units. You have 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom, 4-bedroom, no 5-bedroom, unblock facing on the front and the back. It's a Guaco Land project, so everything is very, very modern. Amazing layouts for some not so good. As per every condo, there's always some good units, some bad units. But otherwise, the landscape is very, very nice. I'm not going to take you guys inside, but just to walk outside to explore. And then, don't mind me, it's a little bit noisy. We have condo number 6, which is Meyer Blue. As you can see, there's plenty of construction that is going on at the moment. You see a lot of trucks going inside. Right now, Meyer Blue is only maybe 20% completed. It's building up to level 5 as of now on the 15th of April 2026, only up to level 5. So for those of you who recently bought Meyer Blue, this is an update for you guys. So as you can see, it's still relatively empty. But this is the old site of Meyer Park for those of you who hasn't visited Meyer Road in a while. You can see from the board here, some units are overlooking towards the city facing. Not too sure whether they have units that overlooks this, but yeah, this is artist expression. But right now, I know they are trying to rebrand the last leftover few units as a much nicer unit, 4 bedrooms that is up for sale the next few weeks. To property number 7, and this is not a condo. This is a landed property in what's possibly the largest landed development in the entire east area. This sits about 120,000 square feet unit. Now this is, I know who is staying here. I shall not tell you who is staying here, but a family is staying here and occupies this 120,000 square feet piece of land. Amazing landed property. Oh, fun fact about this landed property, they actually own the land of Meyerrise, which they sold it to Hong Leong, right? So the plot was one giant piece of land that includes the Meyerrise development itself. So Hong Leong bought it from them, cut it into half, and now it's Meyerise lah. Otherwise, this landed property used to be, I think, about 230,000 square feet. One family staying in it only. So yeah, half of it given up to Meyerise, just in case you guys didn't know. But yeah, for those of you who specialize in the Meyer Road or live around the Meyer Road, you will know that there's the landed properties here like Mayfield Avenue or the Crescent Road, Broderick. Opposite side is Goodman, Branksome, Wilkinson Road, all what we call the second most expensive property enclave outside of District 10, which is Bukit Timah. And in Chinese, we call it the Huangjing Didai. In English, I don't really know how to translate, but it's what we call the gold mine area. A lot of high net worth people I know of, a lot of rich executives, rich bankers are all residing in this part of the Mountbatten landed properties. So that's why, as I mentioned, the properties here are all minimum semi-D. There's no terraces, so your entry into this neighborhood, you need to be of certain caliber to buy or rather afford such a property, right? So like the semi-detached there, easily is worth like $8 to $10 million, $11 million. Detached is like $14, $15, $16 million. That's the kind of money you're looking at in the Mountbatten side. Property number 8 here is Meyerise. So here, as usual, got no one bedroom. You have 2, 3, 4 bedrooms. TOP in somewhere around 2017, 2018, developed by Hong Leong. And the unit type here is those mid-size range, not too small. Like 3 bedrooms, like 1,300 square feet. Rooms are pretty much sizable, 11 to 12 square meters. Good enough for most of those people who are looking for properties in this neighborhood itself. And then the 4 bedrooms, obviously you have a high floor sea facing if you get a certain level. But this is a very nice mid-sized development, very similar to the likes of Meyer Blue, Meyer Mansion, and of course even Sovereign, which I'll share with you guys in a bit. Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to say. Most of the lands here are elongated except Harry Towers. So can you imagine I have a property here in Meyerise and the landed properties, if I combine to one, you have an amazing plot of land, and that's what Harry Towers potential is now. Right, we have mixed up what I think is the top 3, if not top 2 condos along Meyer Road itself. To me, some would rank this as the best in this entire neighborhood itself. Is the Sovereign. Now, Sovereign, fun fact, it's already close to like 30 odd years old. But funny thing here, the price here just keeps going up and up and up. And this is also a very classic example for people who are always obsessed with just data. They will tell you that a development that doesn't have much transactions, or rather with low transaction volumes, means the demand is not very high, then the prices doesn't increase that much. But Sovereign here bucks that trend, because Sovereign here's transaction is like every 1-2 years, then you get 1 unit selling. But each time that happens, right, the price just keeps going up higher and higher and higher. So as I mentioned, sometimes data alone, it's not enough to justify a certain outcome, but you also need to understand from the on-the-ground experience what's exactly going on, right? So anyway, back to Sovereign. Why is it so sought after? Because this is a very, very exclusive development. There's only X amount of units, but it occupies quite a sizable plot of land. And the most important reason why people are obsessed with Sovereign is the large floor plate. There is nothing below 2,600 square feet. It's like straight up 4 bedrooms, 2,600 square feet, all the way to 3,300 square feet, all with private lift. Hey, 3,300 square feet nowadays is like, most new launches penthouse also half this size. So 3,300 square feet of pure usable space is what you're getting here at Sovereign. So naturally, because the size here is much bigger, your price tag or your entry level into this condo itself is not easily attainable. So it's like 4 bedroom here will easily cost like $7 million all the way to $10 million. So why are people paying easily $2,600, $2,700 per square foot for a 30 years old properties, while the new launches are like marginally higher at $3,000, $3,100, and they find it expensive? Reason is very simple. You need to get into the minds of the buyers here, the target audience, right? So as I mentioned, there are people with very, very deep pockets. What they want in life, it's not just about money. They want space. Right? Because properties these days are getting smaller and smaller for the newer developments, even though they can easily afford it, but they just don't want to buy. So Sovereign gives you that space. The rooms are like 13, 14, 15 square meter. And these are the kind of target audiences that we are getting along Meyer Road. It really are those very, very wealthy people, very deep pockets. So their priorities in life are space, views, rather than just pricing. No? So that's why for Meyer Blue and Meyer Mansion, I'm not that optimistic about especially Meyer Blue, is because even though the pricing is not incredibly expensive, 3,000, 3,100 per square foot, but the room sizes, I feel, is what's going to be the problem in time to come. Because people here looking for Meyer properties, they don't have this mass market mindset. But when it goes to the resale market, once the real target audience comes out to shop for a house like say Meyer Blue, the common objection will not be the price. The common objection will not be about the landscape, the whatever it is. The common objection will be the room size. And that remains unknown in terms of demand in time to come. That's why I got a lot of people who ask me about Meyer Blue. I unfortunately don't have that much favorable reviews because I know the exit itself, the people buying the future will have plenty of issues in regards to 9 square meter bedrooms, which is too small. The left-hand side here is worth a mention because this is Meyerhouse, one of the lower-rise developments that is, I would say, second newest, just after Meyer Mansion. Now this is developed by UOL and I think Keng Leong. It is what we call one of the most high-end development at entire Meyer itself. Low-rise, this stands the previous Nanak Mansion. So I think that was en bloc somewhere about 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago. And then they redeveloped to this low-rise development as Meyerhouse today. Everything here is big. The 4 bedrooms range between 2,003 all the way to 3,000 square feet. 3 bedrooms 1,800 square feet. Obviously, it's catered to a certain group of people and can tell you based on my experience is 80% of the buyers here are those high executive, high net worth individuals residing in this part of the East. Parents or rather family ties traces back to the Mountbatten, Goodman, Branksome landed property. Funny thing about Singaporeans is when they don't understand a certain area, they think that Meyer Road is super pricey. What's the reason for that kind of premium? Hence today's video, I will share with you guys why people are paying such a heavy premium for properties in this Meyer Road itself, which actually is not that accessible. The convenience is also lacking, in my honest opinion. This is Meyerhouse, as you can see from the architecture, very modern looking, very quiet, because this part of the Meyer Road itself is the quieter side. And of course, Meyerhouse right in front is the Meyer Park itself. Now this playground, when UOL acquired Nanak Mansion back then, one of the criteria was to redevelop the playground area. So they have done that, they have cleaned up the entire park itself. So now residents have a brand new park that's maybe 3-4 years old where they can bring their kids over for some playtime. So this is condo number 9 or number 10, I cannot remember already. But this is the Makena, one of the largest plot in around the Meyer Road itself. There's really a huge variety of unit type here. You have 900 plus square feet, 3 bedrooms starting from 1,100 square feet, 1,002, 1,006, 1,007, 4 bedrooms all the way to the, of course, the penthouse unit at 3,100 square feet. And then you have full condo facilities. There is one very popular pizza shop there that I used to have lunch after my viewings as and when we got time. I think it's still there. But like I said, grounds are very nice. There's an underpass that leads straight to the ECP itself. But one of the largest plot of land in Meyer Road, it has one of the most affordable 3 bedrooms or 2 bedrooms quantums along this stretch of road also. And this, obviously you can see the condo looks a bit dated. It's close to about 30 odd years old, the same age as Atria and the likes of Sovereign. As it's a bit of a walk towards the last few condos. As I mentioned, this part of Meyer Road, a lot of those rich and wealthy atas people always want to buy only this area. It's because this Meyer Road is hugged by all these very expensive landed properties. It's like their hood, So when they want to buy for the kids, or let's say they want to buy a property for investment, or kids want to stay beside the parents, Meyer Road is the natural property to look at. And of course, it being freehold, so the older generation, those who's got old money ones, usually will want only freehold. And like I said, these are all mainly single loading, one whole line of properties, whereby it's unblocked on the front and the back. Then in front here is condo number 10, which is Peach Garden. This is, I think, one of the oldest development in the entire Meyer Road. I think this is 1980 plus already. All the sizes here are all huge. There's only 2,700 square feet, no smaller than that. All 4 bedroom units. There's those I'm not too sure whether it's called a balcony or it's just an outdoor area, but it's a very old development. Is it unblock potential or not? I actually, for the longest time when I I work in around this area, I don't really hear much like on-block talks. Right? Maybe it will happen, but I would say this is number 3 after Hawaii Towers and then Atria. But yeah, someone who wants a large floor plate unit, 2,700 square feet, I think right now the prices are ranging somewhere around 5 million plus. Condo facilities, of course, very old, but if you want the space, then Peach Garden, after Sovereign, has one of the largest unit type that you can find in the entire Meyer Road area. Coming towards the end of the Meyer Road itself, we have a cluster of Link Bungalow inside the Peach Garden area, right? So the Peach Garden is not only Peach Garden condominium, there's all the Link Bungalows inside or detached that is named Peach Garden. So there's a lot of houses inside, right? Then of course you can see over here the roads here are very wide, all these are all semi-detached. There's no detached zoning here, all these are all mixed landed. Sorry, there's no terrace here, my apologies. But yeah, we are slowly walking towards the end of Meyer Road itself. As you can see, all the houses are tucked behind here. To the last condo along Meyer Road, which is the only condo that I will ever consider buying if my wife agrees to stay in the East Coast area, and that's Aalto. Now, Aalto is already close to 16 years old. We call this development the brother and sister, which this is the brother, and then the sister is actually Seafront, because the TOP about the same time, they launched about the same time. Now, they launched in the era where all the property prices in 2007 were already incredibly crazy. So actually for the longest time, they did not make much money. Only until like after 2017, 2018, 2019, of course until now, then they are making a lot of money. But Aalto, I can tell you, it's very simple to understand. The blocks here are all 3-bedroom, and on the blocks here are all the 4-bedrooms. Yeah, so the 3-bedroom has a bit of sea facing, a little bit of landed, and as you can see, the 4-bedroom is facing towards the sea facing and the eastern direction, so that is west facing. So as you can see, most units here are single loading, so there are rooms facing the front, rooms facing the back, unblocked views. Now, of course, the owners here suffered for the longest time because I can tell you at the time, the pounding works, the dust, everything was quite crazy. That's why at one point of time, really, it was very difficult to sell a property here because it was really very messy. But congratulations, once you have gone past that, right now you have an MRT right at doorstep. And the floor plates here are quite sizable, 1,500 square feet, 3 bedrooms, and close to about 1,900, 2,443 square feet for the 4-bedroom plus family at the corner area here. So yeah, the last condo is probably the only condo I would ever consider to live in if I were to stay here, because it has such a nice floor plate, it has pretty nice grounds, it's very convenient, and it's still quite modern looking. As you can see, I'm really walking towards the end of Meyer Road, where the MRT of Tanjong Katong station is located at. So this was the role of semi-detached or houses that used to stand the old Singai. It was taken back for the TEL, so now you have the MRT right at doorstep for residents at Meyer Road itself, because you have the selection of either going to Tanjong Katong at the end or Katong Park at the start of Meyer Road itself. So the end here is being divided by Tanjong Katong South. The Tanjong Katong exit across is already the Amber area, which even though we're just separated by one flyover or one road, right? Guys, the values here at Meyer Road and Amber are vastly different, right? Because Amber Road properties are a little bit more claustrophobic. I'm not saying it's not good, but the vibes are a little bit different. So as you can see, Meyer Road, it's one line of condo that is pretty exclusive. And then when you go over to Amber, it gets a little bit tighter. And that's why Meyer Road is very sought after, because it's just more exclusive. And you can see Amber Park hiding behind. You know what, I'm going to cross the road. I'm not going to walk back. The weather here is still very hot, but it's quite manageable. Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to take an MRT from Tanjong Katong to Fort Road, one stop. I think it's going to take me more than 1 minute. But yeah, the walk is approximately 1 km plus. But guys, that's Meyer Road for you. So there you have it, guys. I have walked the entire Meyer Road for you. I've busted my ass just to walk for the past 1.5 hours doing content for you guys to understand why people are buying Meyer Road properties, okay? So why are they doing so? Right? You just need to understand target audience. Right? Now, I understand that not everyone digs Meyer Road because it's not so convenient, you don't have much amenities, but you just need to understand who is buying properties here, okay? And why they are doing so. Number one, target audience, you are mostly high net worth or those higher ranked executives who wants that exclusivity, that privacy. Because if you go one street downwards to a Tanjong Katong or even Parkway Parade area, yes, it's more convenient, but it's a bit more claustrophobic, it's a bit more messy, it's a bit more rowdy, and that's something Meyer Road doesn't give you because it gives you plenty of privacy and exclusivity. And the second part of the target audience is also people residing in one of the most expensive enclaves outside of the District 10 Bukit Timah area, and that is properties along the Mountbatten Road. So you have a lot like rich and wealthy want to buy properties for the kids, they want to buy for retirement, they want to buy properties in and around the locations they are living in, and of course you have nothing that is more exclusive than the likes of Meyer Road properties. So again, if you guys don't understand Meyer Road properties, it's fine, but for those of you who understand it very well, you will know what I've just shared in the past 20 minutes, okay? Because that's probably the reason why you're even consider a property in this area. So if you guys start to hear people comparing between the likes of Meyer Road or even like Vela Bay and Seaside Residences, they obviously do not know what they are talking about, because I'm not saying those are no good, I'm just saying that it's different type of market, right? Meyer Road is Meyer Road, after Meyer Road it's something different. It's a bit more mass market, right? So I hope you guys enjoyed this walk me session today. Now, if you guys want me to visit other different areas, please drop me a comment. Let me know where you want to check it out. I'll see whether I can find time to visit them or not. But until our next episode, I hope to see you guys again in the next 1 month or so, because all the good launches are about to be launched already. And the next few months, I guess there's nothing much exciting except the one at Lakeside. Then it's all the way to Thomson View. So I'll have a little bit more time to do more contents like this for you. So again, please drop your comments if you want me to check out something in.